Hey there, everyone, it's Wednesday evening. I'm live here in the 21 News Weather Center, and we're talking about all sorts of things this evening. Weather-wise, we've got cold to talk about, some icy conditions coming up on Friday, and then a halfway decent weekend as well. Let's talk about the near term. Here's a look at temperatures as of about 5:13 this evening. It's cold. 19 Austintown. It's 23 down towards Mill Creek Park, 21 in Struthers, 19 in Poland. Up in Girard, it's 21 degrees. Out in western PA and Lawrence and Mercer County, it's generally within a couple of degrees of 20 at this 5 o'clock hour. The wind, of course, has been an issue. Here's a look at the wind visualization map showing the streamlines, the direction the wind is blowing, generally west and northwest. The closer together the lines are, the faster the wind is blowing. We've seen winds averaging anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour today with some gusts to 25 or even 30. Finally, we'll get a break from the wind later on tonight and especially tomorrow, so that certainly is some good news. Let's take a look at the radar across the country. This big powerhouse storm is taking shape out in the southwest. It's snow in Tucson, Arizona today, rain in Phoenix, and snow flying hot and heavy up towards the Grand Canyon and in Flagstaff, Arizona. Snow is spreading out into the Plain States. This will be a blizzard tonight into tomorrow, parts of Colorado, out into Kansas and Nebraska. This is the system that heads our way on Friday. It's going to be much weaker when it arrives here on Friday, but it could certainly bring us some tricky weather during the course of Friday morning. A little closer to home, here's a look at the radar again as of about a quarter after 5 this evening out of Cleveland. Scattered snow showers and flurries. The radar not quite as ominous as it was 24 hours ago. We don't expect too many squalls to cause problems this evening, unlike last evening at about this time, about 5:30. We, of course, had some nasty weather around greater Youngstown with that snow squall moving through. Flurries and snow showers on the Cleveland radar. Also, the Pittsburgh radar is pretty busy this evening with scattered flurries, and we'll see these flurries from time to time all the way through maybe 4 or 5 in the morning tomorrow, and that's kind of verified on this short-range computer model, which starts this evening and takes us through the overnight. Let me pan down here, take a look at what we have going on here. Generally, this shows kind of a decrease in flurry and snow shower activity later on tonight into daybreak tomorrow. There'll be a couple of flurries and snow showers around, but really not a big deal. I think the bigger deal tonight is the cold and the wind. Now let's take a look at things beyond tonight and tomorrow. Here is Thursday, 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. Pretty quiet weather here locally, but notice what's going on out to the west. Here's our big storm system out in the Plain States. This area of low pressure will cause blizzard conditions out here around Kansas City, Missouri, and up towards Omaha, Nebraska. Denver will get some snow out of this, and could be a severe weather threat down in parts of the Gulf Coast region, the Mississippi Valley. As we go forward in time, this system spreads precipitation our way by Friday. The storm weakens considerably, but the problem here is that as this moisture moves in, upstairs in the atmosphere a little bit, 1,000 feet or so, it'll actually be a little above freezing. Down here at the surface where we live, temperatures will be below freezing when this precipitation moves in. That's a recipe for freezing rain, rain that's falling into sub-freezing air here down where we live at the surface. And so while the precipitation will be fairly light Friday morning up through the midday hours, it is one of those situations that just a little bit of precipitation could cause all sorts of problems. This starts at around 7, perhaps 8 o'clock Friday morning, and the freezing rain threat is here through about noon on Friday. As we get into the afternoon, while there could be some drizzle around, by then temperatures will be back above freezing, and roads should be just fine. So the trouble spot is 7 or 8 Friday morning up through about noon or so. That's when we could see some issues. Let's talk about the weekend. That system tends to move away for the weekend. It could be kind of a snowstorm for eastern Pennsylvania, upstate New York, southern New England on Saturday. For us, as we start the weekend, there could be a shower around during the morning hours on Friday with our next cool front slipping in. That won't be a big deal. No problems with any slick travel Saturday morning. As we get into the nighttime hours and into Sunday, that big system along the eastern seaboard continues to cause some problems up near Boston and Providence, but for us, we'll see some sunshine on Sunday, and that trend will continue right into Monday. Here is Monday at 1 p.m. as we kick off a new work week. We're in pretty good shape. No precipitation shown on this computer model for Monday. It's Tuesday that the next storm heads our way with a pretty good chance for rain at first, then perhaps as some cold air wraps in Tuesday evening, we could see a changeover to snow. So something to keep an eye on for early on next week. Longer range temperature trend, I'd like to show you this as we wrap up the month of February. Here's the 28th of the month, right here. Notice we're a little above average. Average, of course, is the straight black line that runs through the middle of the graph. little above average on the last day of the month next week. Rolling on into March at the end of next week and into next weekend, it looks pretty chilly. Generally, temperatures will be close to or below the seasonal average for the first several days of March. This goes all the way out through the 8th of the month. Right here is the last day on the chart. It's the 8th of March. Looks pretty chilly overall on this particular computer model, and I think this model has the right idea. I think the first half of March is likely to be fairly chilly compared to the average. The latter half of March compared to the average has a better chance of being warmer than a typical March would be. So the first half of March chilly, last half of the month looking a little better, at least according to the current information. All those things subject to change when we talk about the real long range. 21 News on tonight at 6 and 11. I'll have all the details on your forecast, and tomorrow morning Jess will be on at 5, 6, and again at noon with an update on that icy situation we have shaping up for Friday morning. Have a great Wednesday night.